Now, let's talk about stock market seasons. This is a big part of trading in my eyes, because the stock market, it moves in seasons, and you need to be mindful of those seasons. So when you're trading throughout the year, you know what to expect. You know how the market is going to move. Now, these dates are approximate. During the summer, between May 15th to about October 15th, the market is kind of choppy. It is constantly going up and down for a couple of days at a time, and you jump in. You'll notice you're like in a trade because it's going up, and as soon as you get in it, it turns and goes back down. You're like, what is going on? Well, this is why. It's the summertime, and it's just a choppy time of the year for the market. Usually you're in and out of a trade a lot quicker. It's usually a couple of days. Maybe you're in the same day and out the same day. But it's because the market is so choppy during the summertime. So keep that in mind during this time frame. Now, fall, winter time, I love this time frame, honestly, because it's just so easy. During the fall, winter, that's about October 5th, 25th, excuse me, to January 15th. Price moves are a lot longer. So you'll have a stock moving up for weeks at a time, if not, a couple of months at a time. During this time, you'll be in trades a lot longer than you would, say, in the summertime. You see a stock going up, you will probably be in it, like I said, a couple of weeks to months. So that's why I say fall, winter is so easy, because you can get in it and just kind of forget about it a little bit. Now, for the springtime gets a little tough, because it's during the time where the market is trying to transition from being in a long trending phase to a short and choppy one. So you have a mix of long and short movements, and each stock will transition a bit differently at a different time, but it's generally between about January 15th to May 15th. And if you're working with a list of stocks, say you go through that list of products, and you make a list of stocks, and you just concentrate on that list, you will begin to learn how each of your stocks on your list react, how they move, when do they transition in the springtime. Maybe it's sooner than later, and some are later than sooner. So that's something to be mindful of when you create your list of stocks that you want to follow. Here's a picture example of how the stock market seasons look. So this here is the summer time. We're looking at Google stock. And in the summertime, as you can see, it's declining, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. You see how choppy that is? And then here it kind of transitioned a little early into the fall winter phase. But here in the fall winter phase, it's a long decline, and then a long rise, and then a very long decline. So that was weeks to months, as you can see. So it was down for months there. It's fall winter, it moves a lot, or it changes a lot slower. So that's why so then in the springtime, you're going to have a mix of these two. And some, like I said, transition sooner than later. As you can see here, Google started transitioning into the fall winter phase a lot sooner than what our dates show. So those dates, again, are just approximates, just a line in the sand for you to be mindful of and to keep in mind when you're trading. Okay, so let's get into a trading technique that I like to use. It's called the channeling technique. Now, this technique is so simple. It's very simple, and I love it because it is simple. So with the channeling technique, some stocks repeatedly move up and down in waves between certain price points. This is a very simple technique, like I said. It can be used it can be used with stocks, options, or in your retirement account, such as an IRA or 401k. There are 4 things to keep in mind when you're doing the channeling technique. First, you want to look for stocks that are trading in a range or a wave or channel. Now, you can do this by looking at the price action over the last year or so and just see, is it channeling? Or look at the current price action, excuse me, and see if it's channeling, meaning moving up and down, kind of like in the summertime where it's just up and down between, you know, a certain price point. Second, you want to identify a low point and a high point. Now, you don't want to pick the lowest point or the highest point, and I'll show you a picture of how this looks in just a moment. But definitely identify your low point and your high point to see where it's channeling between. Then you want to identify the estimated time and price between each wave, I guess you could say. Now, you want to know that because that'll let you know how much profit you can expect and how long you can expect to be in this trade. The fourth one is most important. Like I said, be patient because the trade could be a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So be mindful of, or be patient, excuse me, be patient when you get into this type of trade. And like I said, this can be done in your Roth and your 401k if you look at how it's performing over the long term. So here's a picture of how a stock looks when it's channeling. This is eBay, and I traded this back in early 2013, and it was channeling between 52 and 55. So what I did, if you can see here the black dotted lines, I picked a low point where it was consistently hitting, and then I picked a consistently hit higher level. And that's where I drew my lines. And as you can see, it bounced between there and it consistently hit those lines. So what I did, when it was on its way back up here at my lower level, I bought. When it hit my higher level, I sold. Then I waited for it to head back up, hitting my lower level, and I bought. When it hit my higher level, I sold. It's as simple as that. You're just buying low and selling high when you're when it hits your price levels. That's it. You can also do the channeling technique here. As you can see, it was rising, but if you did 2 lines diagonally going up, you could do the channeling technique between that as well. So it doesn't have to be straight across like this. You can channel up and you can also channel down.